have a seat. We're going to have Aaron going through the crowd here momentarily to ask questions of the audience. But again, Tracy, how does it feel, first off, to be back in Turner's Hall, the house that you helped build with JT Lightning?
I gotta put my glasses on because, because I just don't want people to see you cry, because I've known JT since 1990. When WCW would come through here, Tommy Rich, everybody knows him, right? He would come to the shows, want to get in the business. He just loved Tommy. He worshipped Tommy back from the 80s. I've come in and out of Cleveland since 1983. And I can always remember seeing JT with Tommy and other guys. But he just loved Tommy. And he started running shows. And Tommy was on a lot of his first shows. And first time I ever worked for him. You guys remember PG-13? Remember that? Wolfie It was a building, I can't remember where it was. It wasn't here in the Ring Road. It was one of his, he and I've been running shows along. And we had a good house and everything. And he was so discouraged, so down. Everybody he tried, and he loved the business. He had his job, he just loved it. And he wanted the people in Cleveland to have fun. And he trained a lot of guys, and he helped a lot of guys. And I worked for him several other buildings other than here. And first time I think I worked for him was, I want to say 1996. And, and all through when I was in ECW. After that, a lot of times we finish up the loop, and we come to JT and look forward to it, because he loved our business. He loved it. Boy, he did. He's the godfather of Cleveland wrestling. He's the reason. On a lighter note, that was a great dance-off they just had. They're real dancers. They should be on Dancing with the Stars, really. But, that was great. Mine's work. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. But when it comes to JT, he went through it all. He did it all. He helped. It's a who's who that's come through here. Am I right or wrong? Right. I look over and I see B.J. Whitner, and I watched him when I was a kid. The rest of B.J. This guy looks just like you. With a band on. Oh, yes, B.J. I love you, man. Chris Dickinson, Sawyer's illegitimate son. Where's he at? Ready? Yeah. Josh Prohibition here tonight? M-Dog? Good stuff. Good stuff. But, our business is brutal, and it breaks you down mentally, physically, spiritually, you name it. Your immediate family, your children, suffer because you're on the road. And JT busted his ass for people in Cleveland to have opportunity, for guys to have opportunity in the ring, for young guys. What is your name?
Me?
Yeah.
Josh Alexander.
Okay, Josh, I know who you are. All right. But anyway, for young guys to have the chance to get exposure, to go places. A lot of them have come through here and worked for JT over the years. It's the who's who that worked for Ring of Honor, for TNA, for WCW before, and for ECW, of course, WWE, overseas Japan. It's a who's who, and he trained a lot. If he didn't train them, he gave them a break. And they always had a place to work because a lot of people didn't run on Sundays. He always ran on Sundays. And think about it, and you always, whatever your guarantee was, you got it. And if JT, one thing we always loved about him, if he had something to say to you, he'd come right to your face. He couldn't write. You do right. Everybody knows him. He's pretty blunt, wasn't he? God bless him. One of the, coming up here, it's hard to believe that you're working on a show in Cleveland. That if it is his show, it's something that he's on the show or a part of because he built it. Chris. I can remember when Chris was a kid, right back there in his back parking lot. How many hours did it take us to find my key? My God, I lost my key in my car. It took us 4 or 5 hours, didn't it? How old were you then?
2005.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a weird age.
Yeah, that's a long time. But you got memories like that. But he was, he was in loved the business and was wanting to run shows and. He picked JT's brain, and JT was busy, and sooner or later he saw that he would love the business, and he's carrying it on now for JT in this city, in Cleveland, and in this building. And if I had anything to do with it, it wouldn't be Turner's Hall, it would be JT Lightning's house.
Tracy, you are a former Cleveland All Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion. Is there a favorite match that you had for Cleveland All Pro Wrestling?
Favorite match I ever had for JT? They were all a lot of fun. It's hard. It's really hard. There's so many years, and so many times. Boy, I tell you, he got in real good shape, and was working with JT, and it was here. And I worked earlier in the day with Deviant, Michael Hutter. Everybody knows him, right? Derek Beckman. Is that what he's going? He's looking back, right? Funny, good stuff. Why in the hell did he let him go? Well, I know. But I worked with him earlier, and I was blown up. Because he was young and then got in the ring with JT. And we and boy, I tell you, he was coming. And a great, hell of a match. And that was one of my favorite. Tagging with him was some of my favorites because he was just meshed in old school, and he loved old school wrestling. Rhino, Rhino right here. I could go on, there's a whole bunch of them. Chris Hero, I want to say, anything with Chris Hero, it's got to be in there. But I could go on and on with guys, like that got an opportunity, they got a break, they got a good exposure through it. So, I love every minute of it.
Let's backtrack a little bit here. Tracy, tell us a little bit how you got started in the wrestling business.
I grew up watching it, and back then there was no cable TV, and you didn't have any. You had ABC, NBC, and CBS. Channel 8, had the kids channel, you know what I mean? The wrestling for 1 hour, and I'd watch the old Nick Goulas, and Jerry Jarrett, the USWA, I guess it was been called 14 other things. Jerry Lawler, and always wanted to do it, respected the fact that they're athletes, that they're tough guys, and that and you'd see the towns and the places they go to travel, and you get a chance to see the world. And, I would see a lot of them at the gym, and you guys in Tennessee, if you knew who the fabulous one Jackie Fargo was, Tojo Yamamoto, they were like God there, but Steve Kerr and Stan Lane were called the fabulous ones, and I see them in the gym, and man, they were over like rotaries. That's like a concert wherever they went. I mean, it's crazy. And Bill Dundee, I see him in the gym a lot, and I just get bugging them. And I actually bugged them from the time I was a freshman in high school until I was about 21. But I was going to school, and I was to be a teacher and a coach, and I ended up, and then finally someone texted me. but finally, they trained me, and then after that, I went and ran Tojo Yamamoto, and people that are in the know and know our business, the training he did would, you would do 1,000 squats, Hindu squats. You'd run the ropes like you wouldn't believe, run steps, push-ups. You would shoot in the ring and fight, and I was smart enough. But at the end of the workout, he put you through about 4 hours, honestly. running. He'd have us run all the way down from the fairgrounds in Nashville. He'd have us run down there and he'd go, hey, you're not smart. Maybe if you'll get lucky, Jackie Fargo will come out and maybe he can knock you the fuck out. So, he would say that. He'd always say that. And one day, for a few months, Jackie Fargo actually stuck his head out the door. I couldn't believe it, at the bar. He'd be drinking at the bar Sunday. It'd be Sunday. But at the end of the workout, he would take us up to the top, and this is on my children. He would have to get on your knees. You had to put your arms behind you, and he would front kick you. This guy would do 1,000 squats a day, and he could kick you. He'd front kick you 10 times. He would, after he'd done front kick you, he'd take a kendo stick, and he'd tighten it up all the way, and he'd hit you 10 times with it. If they did it today, they'd probably have arrested for attempted murder or something. But you had respect for the business. If you did something you didn't like in the ring, if it looked sloppy, if it looked, if it didn't look stiff, if it wasn't snug, he would hit you. He hit me, and to this day, I've lost part of my hair in my right ear, and he would hit you with a kendo stick. He'd baseball swing it and he'd hit you. Believe me, if you get hit a few times with it, you try to do it right. So it was real hard, and the guys in it were all tough guys, and they still are. This ring, I took breaks about 3 different times. Retired many times. Terry Funk, but a flat back bump in the ring here. So appreciate what these guys do. All right, a regular bump and a good bump ring, and this is a good bump ring. It's like a car hitting you behind you driving going 25 miles an hour. So when you see something, a miscue, you see something you chant, you effed up and do, you don't know what happened to that guy. You don't know how bad he's hurt and how much it takes. How long were you out, BJ?
Almost 3 years.
Yeah. But it takes a toll on you to travel and everything. People have no idea. And always my favorite thing to say to people about our business, and they see how I get around. I'm 50 years old. I feel like 100 sometimes. Especially when I come to Cleveland, this weather is always cold, man. Off the river. But anyway, I always say to people, they'll ask questions and they say, how come so many of y'all passed? That's all fake. I go, yeah, Grandpa, that's fake too. And they'll ask, well, how come so many of y'all passed? I mean, you guys don't live long. There's so many deaths. There's so many tragedies. There's so many arrests. There's so many craziness that you see. And, in football, you see now the concussions. Everybody sees that in the NFL, right? Well, wrestling, you don't have any. We play hurt with injuries all over our body that NFL football players are out 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, a whole season, career. All right? Yeah, everybody's done it. It's and they have no idea. And I always say this thing, I say, there's nothing I can do or tell you that can convince you as to what we do and what we go through, mentally, physically, spiritually, pressure on your family, everything. He said, I always say, you know about as much as I do making a nuclear weapon. You don't know nothing. And that's no disrespect, but that includes people that are fans. And I don't like to say marks. I don't like to say smart marks. I like to say people are our business. That's what I like to say. Because if it wasn't for the people out here that paid to see us, there would be no us. There'd be no BJs. There'd be no anybody. Period. But I said, so much about make a nuclear weapon, you don't know nothing. You ain't done it, you ain't lived it. You ain't flew 16 hours on the plane, coming from Japan, get off of and try to get wherever to do, get in the ring, go back to the ring, or vice versa. You ain't worked with a cracked vertebrae, you ain't worked with concussions, you ain't worked with a broken arm, you ain't worked with a broken ankle, you ain't done cracked ribs. I was in Germany, and man, I got this big German kid just nailed me, man. Nailed me with a knee right in the, he broke my ribs, my knees broke right down. And I had bookings and had to keep going. And I went 4, 5, 6 months, something like that, and throwing up every morning. I could go on and on, all the guys could. But so respect what they do and have fun. You pay your money, you cheer, boo, whatever you want to do. You've earned that because it's what you want to do. But get into it and have a good time because these guys are busting their ass and they're trying to make it. And if it wasn't for certain top guys in both companies that hold everybody back. And a lot of them, I'd be young. If I was around Hulk and Sting, and my God, I call it the TNA Impact Show, or is it TNA or is it called Impact? I don't know what it's called. All right. Well, if I'm confused, what are the fans, what are the people thinking, right? Well, I sit there and watch that, and I see his daughter come out, and all that, and in that little segment there, and a friend of mine was there, and he was friends with a friend that, and I wanted to text him, and I wanted to say, boy, how many young guys and veterans alike could you hire if you got rid of those two guys, and neither one of them are doing nothing in the ring? You're paying Sting $1 million. I'm not dying, saying nothing and say his face, he can go to hell. You're not past go, you're not like $200 either. And Hulk Hogan is, I mean, if people knew what a piece of shit he really is. How many guys and guys like him? And I'm just saying, because I don't care. What they do, fire me. but how many guys like those two guys, like Shawn Michaels, like Undertaker, how many throats they cut? You could give me a card, I could name all 4, 6, 7, 8 guys. The guys like that cut their throat. I wanted to text him and I wanted to say, hey, if you got rid of that opening segment, it'd save you $2 million. Steve may work 2-3 times a year. Hulk doesn't work at all. They can't spell house show, right or wrong. And they're doing, your ratings are lower than they've ever been. But your budget's $4 or $5 million. How many guys could you hire, young men that are going to be here today and other places all over this country, all this world? They're great talent that deserve it and will never get a shot because you got that much involved. And at one time they had, and Cactus has earned it. Cactus Jack has earned it. You could pay him $1 trillion when he's put his body through. But when you get Kevin Nash, and you get guys like Hulk, Sting, none of them getting in the ring working, none of them doing nothing, and they take all the money. And with those guys alone, all the money that you could say there, and hire guys, that are great talent that would have a chance to make a good living. Scott Hall, he's doing great now. I'm glad for him. I'm pulling for him. But and when I'm not name dropping when I say that. This is our business. And people wonder why it won't get out of the toilet and won't get better and do, is because it's like a bunch of rats trying to eat up all the cheese. And they say therefore nobody does me, nobody says we anymore, it's me. Where it used to be we. And because it's our business, he did nothing to disrespect the business. And when you come in the dressing room, young guys come in, shake everybody's hand, be courteous, be cordial, be professional. You gotta like each other. It ain't ballet. But it is respect. But you see those things and you get out, and I've got out like 3 times, and it's the same old story. And you just like to see it, more opportunities for guys, new faces, because there's so many, they're so good that as it is, it's hard for them to get a chance. It's hard for them to get exposure.
Tracy, you have worked literally everywhere. From Smoky Mountain, USWA, WCW, ECW, WWF, Japan, 1PW in England. What was your favorite promotion to work in?
It's hard to say. There's so many we work for, and good times and bad times, and in all those places. It's just I'm just thankful to do something that you love, and it's in your blood. I really can't say ECW would have to be in there, man. That was crazy. That was crazy. But Smoky Mountain was in there. Those two. A lot of people don't even know it ever existed. But Continental Wrestling down in Alabama, Panhandle part of Florida, East Tennessee, was a lot of fun. And they all were. I'm just thankful. I started in 1983. I did 83 to 86 part-time around my old job I had in college, loading trucks. And 86 to 2002, I did about 300 shows a year. And 2002 to 2005, I did part-time. I repo cars and I bounty hunted. And then 2005 to 2009, I did it for a job. And now around my job, I did 2010 quite a bit, and 2011 not so much. And then I went about 2 years, so recently getting back in the ring. And you hear it, you see things, and I can remember. I'm off the subject a little bit, but I was doing a show. It was one of the last ones I was doing in 2011. And last I heard that JT was doing real good. And, he was doing real good. And he proclaimed that he beat cancer and things like that. And then Bo, my friend said earlier, got some messages from him that it wasn't good. And then I got a text from a friend. And he was in his last breaths. I was on the fair show in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's the last show I did for almost 2 years, and he passed within an hour, and I almost missed the show because if you relive all the guys that aren't with us no more and girls and the things and the way they went down. But when you look at JT, he loved his family and he loved his kids and he loved the business, he loved his city. And he loved Cleveland All Pro Wrestling. He really did. And the last time I saw it was when I worked for JT on the show with Jerry Lawler. Y'all remember that? Remember that? And somebody told me he had cancer. Well, I think before that, I worked for him once or twice before that a little bit. And he told me that then. And he was sitting there, and I said, JT, I'm pulling for you, man. I'm praying for you. We all are. Everybody loves you, man. And he said, yeah, I'm on the time clock. He said, this is a battle. He said, but I'm going to beat it. And he pointed over to his wife and kids. And I can remember, him saying he had problems with his marriage and his business does it to you. Hey, wrestling fans have problems with marriage. Wrestling just does it. I mean, it's crazy. And he looked and he pulled out this picture of him, and he just kept going right there. And he's just like, I'm going to survive. I'm going to survive for them. I'm going to survive. I'm so thankful that my wife gave me another chance. And, and he just kept on saying it, and I just said, we was outside and we just sit there and cry. I forgot my gimmicks. And we sat outside and cried about 10 minutes and just, and both together, and it was hard to go to the ring. And then Lawler knocked my teeth out. Jerry Lawler knocked my teeth out right there that night. But it was a blast, and that's the last time I saw him. And in 2011, I was supposed to work for him on a show, and I had to cancel because of my job. And, in the normal world, they don't realize what we go through, what we do, and what we put up with, and what we, just the head trips, and just how hard it is. And I asked to get off because, my friend, wasn't in a good way, and he got better after he went real for the worst. And they said, well, if we let you off for every time that, you had to go to a funeral, or you go to the hospital, or you had to do a benefit, or whatever show it was, he said you would never be working because they don't understand, and I didn't get to go, I had to cancel. And when you hear he's getting better, you just think, God, you just pray, hope and pray you can see him again, and you really do. I used to love his meetings right before, the show would start. His Hitler meetings, he would go postal, man. If you guys could hear that, you'd never in your life. He'd scream and holler, and during the night and everything, but he loved the business, and he wanted the show to go good. He wanted to go good for you people, for the wrestling fans, for everyone watching. He had a TV show here. He was real passionate about it. And I know last night he had the best seat in the house, and tonight he's going to have the best seat in the house.
Outside of the Cleveland area, do you have an all-time favorite match of your career?
I'd have to say something with Chris Hero and Chris Candido, and there's a lot of others. But Punk, when he was young man, getting God money, and some guys like that. And Punk was Chris Candido was really influential, on Punk. And I was at a show for Norman, IWC, and somewhere around Pittsburgh when Chris passed, and Punk, he was real down. He was real down, and just sit there and talk, and I just, was just like, Phil, I just was like, I'm gonna name when I say that name, I just looked and I said, he would want you to go for it, to keep going, to not quit. He died doing something he loved. Gosh, he's certainly done that, hasn't he? He's done great. He's worked here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not for Edo, but include this.
Yeah, all right. Well, some guys like that. There's a whole bunch more, Tag teams in this prime, Bobby Eaton was one of the greatest. Brad Armstrong, you guys know who he is? That's another one that hit me. Guys like Ricky Steamboat, you got to say, boy, just an honor to be in the room. Guys like that, Terry Funk. You guys need to book him here. Terry Funk should be on every She's the Man. Bob Armstrong, guys like that. But I we'd be here all night if I talked about guys that talk about, that favorite matches. So.
Well, we are going to open up questions wherever Aaron is very shortly to the fans, but since you mentioned talking about people, I have one person I would like to ask you your true opinions on, and you know who I'm talking about, and everybody here wants to hear it straight from the man. Tracy Smothers, what are your feelings on JBL?
He's a very smart guy. I watch him on Fox News. Every single Fox, he is very smart. He's very intelligent. He's married to the anchor. He's a rich man. He's real good with the stock market. I think he kind of helped Vincent and get, into a corporation. Johnny Ace or White House, did. Rich guy. Tough guy. Big, strong. Big. He is. He's just. I knew him when he was young. John. What's he called?
John Hawk Bradshaw.
Yeah, his first John what?
John Hawk Bradshaw.
John Hawk. Yeah, John Hawk Bradshaw. John Hawk. I saw him in Japan. He's a super nice guy. He's a great guy. Real cool to be around. Real fun. And Justin Hawk Bradshaw was a pretty nasty dude. And JBL is just a dickhead. An asshole. He's got more guys fired. That's the truth, dude. This is a shoot interview, right? He's guys like him and other guys I said earlier, they've killed more careers of guys, young men who could have made it, cut their throat, gotten fired. Than the Vietnam War. I said killed the Vietnam War, World War I, II, Beirut, Iraq, Afghanistan, whatever you want. You have no idea. You have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. And you think politicians are the best politicians, or some guys like that are. And he would bust hell wide open. And if I had it my way, I'd send that son of a bitch there. Simple as that. Simple as that. I can do it. JT got him hard, so, JT I love, but, yeah, he put the A in asshole. Right? Him doing that to Meanie that night was real uncool, and Vince talked with us like at the one night stand, and, there'd been a little bit, and guys just trying to get a job. I was tickled to death to be on a pay-per-view and to be there. It was a lot of fun, and I worked the Hardcore Homecoming the night before, around time. It was a blast, and just good to see everybody. It was a good time, good show. Travel up like that, take care of us, everything. Vince has a big city, going to open ECW up. This is the WWE guys didn't like that. Didn't want to be there, the whole thing. John was on top. Dan, and I went and talked to him because I knew him forever, and he wouldn't even look at me. Right? We were talking about it. I said, I saw your talk radio show, I listened to it. I was hitting the show somewhere. He's like, yeah, well, I found out he was wasted, drunk. Then we did the thing that night when we all came and hit the ring. I looked in the corner of my eye, and what I saw was I seen him hit Meanie, and I didn't know that Meanie said something about him or something, I don't know. And he hit Meanie in the back of the head and was just drilling him. He jumped, said 6'6", 6'7". Meanie's not a fighter, and I saw the corner of my eye, and seen him just glom him, man, what in the world, So I go over, what's the big kid, Matt Morgan, you guys know who that is, big boy. and I was kind of tied to him and the other one, Tyson Tomko. And I saw him like, okay, we'll go over and see what's going on. So I went over to John and said, what in the world is going on? He said, F you, he rabbit punched me in the back of the head. I was like, man. You don't expect it. He had a lot of headshots anyway. I caught him with a pretty good right there. Got him in the eye. And I went off from him and he says, come back. He says, come on back. I said, I'll be back, motherfucker. So I said, yeah, exactly what he said. This is a shooting, right? I know I can cuss, but I try not to. but I said that, and I went back over and with Regal and Sandman, and then I come back around and Sandman kind of gave me the office, and Axel and Balls, they were thrown down, and Hack went up behind him and took that stick on him and did what he did. I come in, and got him with some shots. I did. I got him pretty good when Hack was holding him, and things like that. And did, and he was screaming, and we all put the boots to him. And afterwards, he was real mad at me. And John Laurinaitis was trying to smooth that over, and I was just sitting there watching. And I really thought, focus on me, and I just thought, man, I don't want to mess up, and hopefully, you wanted to get a job. I was just got back working full time. I thought, God, this would be great. I'd love to do it. I thought, man, I just screwed up. I was like, God, I'm gonna get fired again. But he was mad at me. He had to come on our bus when he got on, so I thought, here we go. And he apologized and said, you guys did a hell of a job. I think Vince made him do that. And then I get home and I get straight all these emails and calls and everything else. And I didn't want to answer it because I didn't want to get in any trouble, and I didn't want to risk. I wanted to get back working and doing it for a living and getting to travel. Got to work for, like I said, everybody. I did 21 tours in Japan. I did 11 in Europe, and I came so glad to have gotten to do that. And and things like that, and do work for them at that time or any time was where you wanted to be in our business. And to finally, I got a message sent to me, and then I read something told, and he said I sucker punched him, which I did. I'm an old man, I don't do what I got to do, but he can go to hell. That's what he can do. And he said nothing will come of this. He said nothing will come of this because Tracy Smothers is nothing but a little bitch, independent, washed up, crippled old has-been. And it wasn't a word, a promo. So I thought, all right, man, you can go to hell. You really can. So then somebody had me do a promo and do a shoot, and that's when I did that, and it got over there, and it helped my bookings. But it did. I got started back going to overseas again and stayed busy after that, and was glad to have done it, but I didn't really mean for that to be like that. And if I ever see him, I'm sure we'll fight. So yeah, on my end, he can go to hell. He has no respect for this business and the people in it. Does that answer any questions there? He really don't. He really doesn't.